My name is Jack, and I've spent years chasing the thrill of abandoned places, crumbling buildings, forgotten by time, where the air feels thick with secrets. But some places, they don't just feel empty. They watch you. They know you. These are three stories from my past, each tied to a symbol I can't unsee. A red spiral, carved into wood, painted on walls, burned into my memory. I thought they were just urban explorations gone wrong. But now, years later, I'm not so sure. Because something or someone followed me home. When I was 15, my friends Tyler and Lucas and I were obsessed with sneaking into abandoned places. One summer night in 2010, we set our sights on an old farmhouse in the middle of a field, just outside our small Ohio town. The house was a sagging wreck, surrounded by rusted tractors and waist-high weeds that whispered in the breeze. The air smelled of damp earth and something sour, like rotting fruit. We brought flashlights, our hearts pounding with that mix of fear and excitement only teenagers know. The front door was half off its hinges, creaking as we pushed it open. Inside the house was a graveyard of forgotten things. Moldy furniture, broken plates, a single chair tipped over like someone had left in a hurry. The wooden stairs groaned under our weight as we climbed to the second floor. A hallway up there was pitch black, the boarded-up windows blocking even the moonlight. Our flashlights cut through the dark, revealing peeling wallpaper and doors hanging ajar. At the end of the hall, my beam caught something strange. A small table draped in tattered cloth, like a makeshift altar. On the floor, painted in red, were symbols, spirals, crosses, and shapes I couldn't name. They looked fresh, the paint glistening under the light. My stomach twisted. "Guys, this is messed up," I whispered. Tyler, always the bold one, stepped closer. And that's when we saw it, a wooden coffin, lid off, lying against the wall. It was empty, but the inside was stained dark, like something had seeped into the wood. Before we could process it, a thud echoed from downstairs, then footsteps, heavy, deliberate, climbing the stairs. We froze, our flashlights trembling. The air grew colder, and I swear I heard a low hum, like a chant just out of reach. We bolted, nearly tripping down the stairs. As we reached the ground floor, I glimpsed a shadow dart into a room, tall, humanoid, but wrong somehow, like it didn't move naturally. We didn't stop to look. We grabbed our bikes and pedaled until our lungs burned. Weeks later, I heard a local priest had gone to that house to perform an exorcism. But what haunts me most is the spiral I saw carved into the coffin's lid, a red spiral, just like the ones I'd see again. Fast forward to 2025. I was 30 now, living in a quiet Pennsylvania suburb with my girlfriend, Emily. One humid summer evening, we decided to walk a popular countryside trail to cool off. The path was lined with wildflowers, but as we wandered deeper, the air grew heavy, the crickets' hum replaced by an eerie silence. That's when we saw it, an abandoned farmhouse, its windows like empty eyes staring from the gloom. It was oddly beautiful, its weathered wood glowing faintly under the twilight. Curiosity pulled us closer. As we approached, a sound stopped us cold. Soft, rhythmic chanting, like a hymn, but twisted, the voices overlapping in a way that made my skin crawl. It came from inside the house. Emily grabbed my arm, her eyes wide. "That's not normal," she whispered. Then came the screams, sharp, guttural, a mix of men and women in agony or ecstasy. My heart raced. I wanted to run, but Emily, always braver, insisted we peek inside. We crept toward the door, the chanting growing louder, clearer. It wasn't English. It was guttural, ancient, like a language no one should know. Through a crack in the door, I saw flickering candlelight and shadows moving in a circle. One figure turned, their face hidden by a hood, and shouted, "Someone's here!" The chanting stopped. The screams turned to silence. We ran, our footsteps pounding the dirt, not daring to look back. The next morning, I found a folded note wedged into my windowsill. In shaky handwriting, it read, "Next time it ends badly." And there, at the bottom, was a red spiral. I haven't told Emily, but I'm certain someone in that house knew me, and they're still watching. In 2019, I was 24, still chasing the thrill of urban exploration. My friends Michael, David, Sarah, and Claire convinced me to explore an abandoned asylum 20 minutes from Pittsburgh. It was a massive, decaying complex, its brick walls stained by decades of neglect. I'd been there before, but always chickened out. The place felt wrong, like it was holding its breath, waiting. That October night, with 6 of us and my pride on the line, I'd pushed past the dread. We found a splintered hole in a rotted wooden door, barely big enough to crawl through. The jagged edges snagged my jacket, and I felt a pang of unease, like the building didn't want us inside. The lobby was vast, with a grand staircase leading to the upper floors. To the right, a dark hallway stretched into nothingness. To the left, a cavernous chapel loomed, its stained glass shattered. We decided to save the chapel for last, a decision I'd regret. Sarah and Claire bailed early, too spooked, and waited in the car. The 3 of us climbed to the 3rd floor, finding empty rooms and scattered papers about a fire that killed dozens of patients decades ago. Then in a hallway we saw it, a single chair, upright in the middle of the corridor. No dust, no cobwebs, like it had been placed there moments ago. We'd scoured every floor, no one else was here. My chest tightened. On the ground floor, the chapel awaited. It was breathtaking, marble pillars, intricate frescoes, polished wood pews, but the air was thick, oppressive, like breathing through a wet cloth. As I admired the ceiling, my eyes caught something high on the wall, a massive crucifix upside down, its Christ figure staring blankly into the void. My blood ran cold. Michael whispered, "We need to go. Now." Before we could move, a scream tore through the asylum. Not human, not animal, but both. A doubled wail of rage and despair. It came from above, growing louder, closer. My legs locked, my body betraying me. Michael grabbed my arm, dragging me toward the exit. The scream followed, echoing in my skull. As I crawled through the hole in the door, my hood caught on a splinter. I was stuck, the wail deafening, footsteps pounding closer. With a desperate yank, I tore free, collapsing outside. We found Sarah and Claire in the car, oblivious, listening to music. They hadn't screamed. Months later, I returned, driven by a need to understand. Every entrance was sealed, Doors bricked, windows boarded, except a trap door to the basement, half hidden in the courtyard. I didn't go in, but on the trap door, carved deep, was a red spiral. These places were just abandoned. They were claimed. By what? I don't know. A cult, a demon, something older. That note on my windowsill, that spiral, it's like they're still out there, waiting for me to step into another forgotten place. Be careful where you wander. Some doors don't let you leave.